No niin, vedetään tää nyt varmaan sitten loppuun. Toivottavasti.
You know it in your heart, my love. I've been calling out to you for all these years, and you answered.
But how?
You shouldn't be here. It's a mistake. You'll only bring great misery on us all. My poor little boy. All of us together, finally, release me, my love, free me.
What did you call me? I don't understand. What can I do?
There's nothing you can do. You have to end this. Both of us. We're a mistake. An abomination. Close the portal. Destroy the connection.
What connection?
The connection is the strongest force in the universe. It cannot be destroyed. It has to be completed. It is our destiny. Go to the reactor. Find it, my love. It is waiting for you.
Find what?
No more waiting. Please, can't you just let me die? I can't take any more.
Tanya?
Go. Die. Fade. Portal.
Tatiana, are you still there?
Boris, help! Die! Igor!
I don't understand. Oh, fuck!
Reactor. Chernobylite.
Well, what do I do? Oh, fuck, I need to figure this out!
Okay. Siellä on Black Stalker me odottaakin. Moro.
You took your time, Igor.
Cut the crap. It's time you gave me some answers.
Yes, we'll get to that. But since this is our last meeting, I want to ask you a question first.
Okay.
Fine. Just make it quick.
What do you really hope to achieve, Igor?
This thing is obviously too dangerous to remain in human hands. I need to remain in one piece before I can even think about making any decisions.
Isn't that obvious? I want to save Tatiana.
You may find this surprising, but our goals are actually aligned.
How's that?
We were both going after the same thing, but this whole time we've been chasing someone else's agenda without knowing it. Chernobylite's agenda.
Come on, man. I've come too far to be fed a line of bullshit.
Let's start from the beginning. Do you know who I am?
I sure do, Boris. You were my closest friend until you decided to betray me. To take Tatiana from me.
Boris is dead. I killed him on that fateful night, April 26, 1986, and took his identity. Good riddance. He was a treacherous piece of shit.
You took his? Why?
The more important question, the question you somehow failed to ask yourself all this time is, who are you? Because you're not Professor Igor Kiminyuk. You never were. I am Igor Kiminyuk. I only changed my name to protect you and your mother.
Protect me? How? By trying to kill me at every turn?
If I wanted to kill you, I would have done it the first time we met at the power plant.
Will you quit talking in fucking riddles?
The truth is hard to swallow, I know. It was hard for me too. You are me. Tatiana isn't your fiancée. She's mine. Everything you know about her, everything you remember, none of it is yours. You're living someone else's life. My life. You are my clone, sort of. You got my body, my brain, my skills, and most importantly, my memories from before the Chernobyl disaster.
What are you saying? How is that even possible?
Tatiana was sterile. That was our personal tragedy. But when Semenov imprisoned her after the Duga fiasco, she fell pregnant. At first, I thought Boris was the father, and I was angry with her. But that was another of Semenov's lies. He needed me to stay on the project and study Chernobylite, so he injected Tanya with the nano solution. What happened next was, I don't know what to call it, an immaculate conception. She gave birth to a boy, you. You grew much more quickly than other kids, but your mind didn't seem to follow. It was different somehow. The Chernobylite no doubt affected you in unpredictable ways. I never really considered you my son. You scared the shit out of me. I didn't know what to do with you. But it was obvious that Semenov would incorporate you into his experiments. Or maybe cut you open and rummage around inside. Until one night, Tanya, your mother, communicated with me telepathically, even though her body was in a coma. She pleaded with me to release you into the woods, and that's what I did.
You're saying Tatiana's child, who you released in the woods in 1990? But that's impossible. Impossible! I don't remember any of this.
Of course you don't. You looked like a teenager, but had the mind of a small child. I remember giving you a sweater that Tatiana knitted for me. The night was so cold. It had my name on it.
The sweater? I had it in the camp. I was imprisoned and...
Yes, it could have been a trigger. Your mind somehow began to rebuild itself. Why in my image? I can only guess. Perhaps you were constructed from Tatiana's desires, from her expectations of a child. Funny, how I called it pseudoscience. I suspect the process was somehow facilitated by the Chernobylite.
But she's been calling me this whole time. She wanted me here.
I'm afraid you were bamboozled, my poor boy. We all were. It wasn't Tanya who called you here, but it.
Chernobylite? But the images, the voices...
They felt so real, I know. Your mother was your biggest weakness, and the entity exploited that. It wanted you here. It has plans for you, you see, and I cannot allow it to succeed.
Someone sent me a photo of Tatiana and the piece of Chernobylite. Those weren't hallucinations. They were real. I couldn't have constructed my portal gun without them.
Oh, that. It was that bastard Semenov, of course. He wanted to bring you here as well. He never got over it when you vanished. Not that it matters now. I really hoped you would stay away. But it's too late now. I can't allow you to interact with the entity in any way. Only one of us is leaving this room alive.
Okay.
Wait, can't we talk it over?
We just did. Goodbye, son. Igor. I wish there was another way.
Okay.
Come on, show me the new and improved Igor Kimenyuk.
Okay.
Why did you have to come here and complicate things? This gives me no pleasure, but it has to be done.
Okay.
I won't let you hurt her. Give up already. I promised to make you're not strong enough to save Tanya. Only I am.
Okei. Tuleeko se tosta siitä aina, kun
has to be done. You think you're better than me?
Ainakin mä yritän olla parempi. Okei.
Get up already. I promise to make it quick for Tatiana's sake. This gives me no pleasure, but it has to be done.
Au. Nää. Okei. Ei mitään hätää. Okei.
Come on, show me the new and improved Igor Kimeniak.
Okei.
I don't need a force field to defeat you.
What? Oliver?
What? You should be dead.
Yeah, I've been getting that a lot lately. Look familiar?
Where did you get that from?
Where else? I took it from you. From your cold, dead hands, Igor.
Wow.
What? Where? When?
In a reality where you fucked up, my friend. From one of the many worlds bearing the brunt of your failures.
Are
Okay.
you saying that you come from a different... that you're from...
This is hell. You have no idea.
Where are you going?
Back to my screwed up world, of course. You know me. I'd prefer to die fighting.
Wait!
Don't waste the chance I've given you, Igor. Finish the job.
Okei.
It's over, my son. Close the portal. Cut the connection. Deny this thing away into our world. Do it now!
Son, please. It will kill her. It will kill the love of my life. Of our life. Please, there's another way.
Just let me go. I've suffered long enough.
You can do this, son. You can be the man I could not. Go through the portal and face this thing. Undo the harm we both caused Tanya.
No, do not do this. Kill me. Just kill me, please. Finish it.
I'll descend to hell what it takes to save Tatiana. Huh.
It's time to end this once and for all. If anyone can hear me, run as far from here as you can. Everyone, run like hell.
Okay. Ah!
Thank you for showing me the way. I won't waste this, I promise. Goodbye. You can rest now.
No, kunnioitettiin hänen tahtoonsa.
The protagonist never explained to his comrades exactly what happened at the power plant, but he came out changed. The Chernobylite vanished entirely. The zone is now free of it.
Ehkä me tehtiin oikea päätös kuitenkin.
Igor stalkers drove off the remaining NAR troops and even convinced a few of them to join the cause. Now they're working together for the good of the Samoshels, tracking down the few remaining monsters still roaming the area. Olivier never had the chance to change his own past and prevent the ambush that wiped out his team. His obsession almost steered him down the dark path of treachery, but in the end, he redeemed himself by helping Igor with his mission. Even though it cost him his life, because he had been a part of something bigger than himself, he was at peace in his final moments. In spite of his flaws, Olivier will always be remembered in the zone for his courage and grit. For this haunted place will always be a monument to broken heroes with a twisted past. Mikhail's life was always full of violence. He was the angriest, most obnoxious man Igor had ever known, but he was also unfailingly honest, both with himself and others. Mikhail's thirst to avenge his murdered friends was his main driving force. But working with Igor and the others eventually made him appreciate the kinder aspects of life. In spite of his rough manner and the darkness inside him, Igor came to like the neurotic stalker, and by the end, considered him a true colleague. Mikhail decided to remain in the zone and join the others in protecting their shared home. Sashko had always been the lone wolf and daredevil of the zone. Life had always been harsh for him, and he learned the hard way to rely only on himself. His crusade against NAR began with a desire for closure regarding his brother Ruslan's death, but Igor's quest to find Tatiana was what kept him going until the finish line. After the events in the zone, Sashko decided to go back to Moscow and face the hard truth about his parents' death. Eventually, he would return to Pripyat, which became his second home. Tarakon's fight against the Rat King has reached an end. Having barely survived the zone, he realized his time was up. Now, someone else must carry the torch and defeat the evil lurking in the power plant. But Tarakon wasn't worried. After all, he had prepared Igor and others well. Tarakon's true identity was never discovered. Was he a madman, a saint, a spy? Perhaps he was all of these, or perhaps none of them. But one thing is certain. The old man was a true child of Pripyat. His restless soul will forever wander its marshes and woods. Olga's last thoughts were with her mother and those Samoshils. She had joined Igor in his mission because she knew what it meant to live with a hole inside you, a hole left by the departed. As a troubled teenager in Minsk, she'd never planned to become a freedom fighter or martyr, but sometimes we encounter the person who will change our destiny at just the right moment. Life is unpredictable that way. Olga will always be in the hearts of all the Samoshils whose lives she touched. Like so many before him, General Koslov made the wrong choices while chasing a dream of the good life. War taught him about the cruelty and inevitability of loss, leaving him indifferent to human suffering. His experiences made him strong, but also blind to the serendipitous moments which could have placed his life on a different trajectory. And so his death was as empty as his life. General Koslov spent his final moments consumed with bitterness. If I only had another chance, he said to himself. Alas, that is a privilege afforded to very few. Semenov's ambitions and neuroses almost got him killed. He was a brilliant scientist, but could never come to terms with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Though not a devout communist, Semenov could not stomach the chaotic aftermath, for it reflected the emptiness of his own heart. And so he chased his green Chernobylite dream, hoping his experiments would usher in a new world order. In reality, what he sought was to fill the gaping void in his own soul. Meeting his former student Igor saved Semenov's life, although he could never have predicted it. Confronted with mortal danger, he realized he could no longer allow his demons to determine his fate. He left the zone hoping there was still time for him to find peace. Without Semenov's brilliance, NAR eventually dissolved, most of its mercenaries wiped out by either the Shadows or the Samoshils. Faced with staggering losses, the shareholders halted all funding. All that remains of NAR in the zone are the empty barracks and derelict labs, stark reminders of a misguided ambition based on human misery.
Okei. Semmonen pelihän se sitten oli. Oliko ne sitten parhaat valinnat tai huonot valinnat, en tiedä, mutta semmonen oli Tsernobyliitte ja toivottavasti. Tää nyt oli vähän tämmönen toisti aika paljon itteensä, et ei ehkä niin viihdyttävä pelailu kyllä, mutta tulipahan pelattua ja nähdään sitten seuraavaan pelin parissa.